Game 2 in the best of 3 series between Tefel and Beastyqt. This is for the Zotac Cup quarterfinals. We are in the grid stage and spawning here in the lower right corner of the map. It is the Orange Terran, none other than the great, the Empire, Beastyqt.
In the upper left-hand corner of Ohana, he took the first map down. Can he take the victory and move on to the semis of the grid stage? It is none other than Tefel.
And the roaches last game, man, devilish creatures. I think it's funny, there's a lore thing about how Kerrigan created the roaches because she needed something regenerative because all the other Zerg units were, in effect, useless versus Terran. And right there, game 1, pretty much, I think she got what she was going for, Doom.
Yeah, and, you know, looking at what Beastie's options are here, if it's not going to be an 11 ranks, I do like the decision to go for a command center first. I really feel like you need to do something to match that Zerg player's really fast, economic opener. And command center first, I don't think Zerg has really become too accustomed to how to deal with this, but if they do some type of early aggression to try to counter that and fail, then you could really get put in a good position as a Terran player.
Yeah, one of the nastiest things a Zerg player can do to punish you for going CC first is get a drone scout. Like, that sounds silly, but it's actually quite effective. But Beastie building on the high ground, that is going to completely eradicate that. That is something I like about Beastie. He does command center, then he does the barracks for the full wall off almost every single time. But more importantly, like, if he goes for the low ground, you know, you can try to get some supply depots up, a bunker, a 2-base Baneley all in can really shut a player down if he doesn't have enough units behind this.
Yeah, but
it's
again,
so easy to play greedy when you go for this. Like, okay, you get the barracks up, you make a bunker, 2 Marines, go for double gas, start getting your tech, and not have anything to deal with it.
Yeah, we'll see what BC does, but if the Zerg player fails with that aggression, then again, you are in a much better position than you would be otherwise, and really, that's kind of what you have to hope for as a Terran player, is to just find openings, find opportunities to get ahead in any way, because it always feels like you're always going to be behind as a Terran player because that Zerg is so focused on reaching across the map with bases, spreading creep everywhere to take complete and full map control, advancing their tech towards that Broodlord and Fester composition. Like, it's just so horrifying, man.
BC coming up here with an SCV scout. We'll see that there's, well, no gas yet, so that's going to feel pretty nice to see. Doesn't have to worry about any sort of early speed laying aggression, anything like that. So this command center will safely go on the low ground once it's done becoming an orbital. Bunker coming out as well. Gas has started for Beastie. And my concern is, like, you know, he's probably going to, if I had to guess, he'll probably stick with Bio this game after the way the last game went. But I mean, a Hellion Banshee opening is still a really good opening, and I would like to see him stick to it.
I would like to see full-on mech from him. I like mech on Ohana in TVT. I like it in ZVT too, because if you're able to get like a good number of tanks and Thors out, there's really not a whole lot that the Zerg can do before Broodlords. And getting 3 bases on Ohana really isn't that difficult. You're a nice confined area here. You can get your 6 gases up very quickly, and that's really the linchpin for making mech effective. But yeah, let's see what he decides to do.
Tefel, expecting a bit of aggression, I guess, already has a spine crawler coming down, interestingly enough.
It's not coming. He's going for a 3rd command center.
Yeah, no gas yet for Tefel. Okay, it is just started, actually, so as you say, he might be going for a 3rd base already. If he can scout that Beastie's also done the same, he will absolutely go for it.
Did he actually see the CC first?
I don't believe so. No,
No.
He never got up in there.
So he doesn't know that this is underway, and that may be a slight misstep from Tefel here, because if he had seen it, I'm definitely sure he would have gone for a much quicker 3rd.
Yeah, just droning up comfortably, though, still not a bad choice. It is 34 workers, 7 more about to pop, 9 more about to pop. So he's definitely got an economic edge for the time being. And the thing that's really nice about this... Oh, sorry, I was going to say, the thing that's really nice about having 3 CCs is, like, okay, yes, on one hand it affects your economy, this, that, etc. But with the mules, you can actually pull SCVs and use them effectively in assaults. You can use them to defend if you need to, without really worrying about, like, okay, can I recover or not?
And it actually is going to be a bio follow-up, Rifkin. You were correct. Stim is on the way. He hasn't added on additional barracks yet, but he's still focusing mainly on getting that 3rd command center up, which is just completed. This is a great little opener here from Beastie, and he's forcing, I'm assuming, roaches out of his opponent, and he's already making marauders. So this is, again, forcing units out of your opponent can definitely give you stark advantages in StarCraft 2.
It's kind of funny the way the rock, paper, scissors mechanic of it works between the races. I mean, Marauders kind of stomp Stalkers. Stalkers...
Ah!
Oop, what are we...
Drones! A lot of drones are going to fall!
Oh man, I looked away. That was a mistake. How many workers have we picked off? 7!
7!
For the cost of 2 Hellions.
He's still got a Hellion on the main base. He's scouting out the entirety of everything. Sees the lair timing here without having to use a scan. Saw the evolution chambers with the Roach Warren. So Beasty's in a great position to know exactly what his opponent's going for. He's just added on his 2 barracks. He's continuing to make Marauders. He's letting Stim just filter in, get done, and he's adding on a reactor.
That evened out the worker count too, interestingly enough.
This is weird. It looks like he's going to go for tankless Hellion bio medevac play.
That can work very effectively, actually. Drops are so powerful, and BC, whether it's Heart of the Swarm or whether it's Wings of Liberty, he's a guy who likes his drops. And if you can multi-prong drop, you know, one in the main, one in the third, hit at the natural all at the same time, Tefel's going to be hard-pressed to split his army to deal with it.
Yeah, drops are going to be even better, too, because Infestation Pit is the tech of choice here for Tefel. Not going to go for Spires, so it's going to be a little bit of time before he gets his Pathogen glands completed and get Infestors out on the field. And plus, without Mutas, without Overlords spread across everywhere, he's not going to ever see those drops coming in. And he doesn't have really good map vision that we're accustomed to seeing Zergs have these days.
Yeah, and just to answer chat, we use health bars actually quite frequently, only on engages and such. I mean, right now, leaving them on the whole time, things get a little bit cluttered. I'm not a fan of the way it looks. I always have health bars on for all the engages, though, so don't fret, don't sweat, they will be there.
True mark of a fantastic observer is being able to, you know, click on the units that matter in crucial engagements and just showing you exactly what needs to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, like, right now, you don't need the health bar.
Leaps and bounds in observing in the past few weeks, man.
I've been working on it hard. Like, the camera work is the hardest thing to do, because when you're observing and casting, like, you want to be able to look all over the map like this and, like, okay, what's going on here, but you can't, right? You have to, because no one wants to see you jumping around the screen like a madman.
Yeah. Gotta be a method to the madness.
You know, it gets better with practice, and the more we do StarCraft, the more practice we get, guys. Now, we got some nasty creep spread coming out of Tefel, already reaching the halfway point on the map. A 4th base coming down as well. But look at the production line of Beasty right now. I mean, he's got so much going for him. With the 3rd base of his own, I think if he can get some harass off at some point with even just 1 medevac drop, he's going to be really nicely situated for this game.
Yeah, both players got a lot going for them right now. Tefel's really moving his creep spread across the field, and this is definitely what he wants to do as a Zerg player with this mechanic built into their race. But Beasty's actually going to be pressing forward towards the 4th base, or is he going to go for creep tumors? All right, he's going to go for the 4th base.
There's 3 infestors here. You might actually be able to catch some, but no, Fungal's going down immediately. And
Suicide.
Well, he's going to focus down the hash rate. Does force the cancel at least. And he will pick up... Ooh, there's not enough energy to Fungal again, actually, so very nice.
Nice. Yeah, got the medevacs out. That was important.
And 4 Marauders. I mean, Marines are about the most dispensable unit you have as a Terran player. They come out of reactors 2 at a time. They only cost 50 minerals. I mean, they're really nice.
Yep. It does feel like Tefel is going to say forward bases is where he's going to start making aggression. His hatch, he's built a macro hatch in his main base. Spires on the way as well.
He doesn't have concussive shells, interestingly enough. Not a lot of Terran players skip this. I wonder if that's maybe a bit of an oversight.
Sometimes you don't even remember that you need to get it with the Marauder. I mean, it's such a quick upgrade, only costs 50/50, but, you know, only recently have we been seeing these, like, big Roach Infestor plays coming out of Zerg players who just lock down the Terran early game, and the scout goes off and sees this medevac moving in the main base.
Yeah, the jig is up. The Creep Tumor's the Overlord. He did get scouted, but if he can get away without losing anything, he'll be okay. Yeah, just gonna pick up and leave. Doesn't want to get caught by those Infestors.
Definitely a smart choice.
I like that he's got this Viking out. What he's been doing is trying to clear Overlords out, but really it's the creep that's the problem. Look at this. There's no way for BC to sneak in medevac over here without getting caught.
It's become a problem only in the past 3 minutes, too, Rifkin. Like 3 minutes ago, this was not even past the watchtower, but all of a sudden, Tefel's got it spread pretty much across the entire map.
It's coming up on BC's base here, yeah, and he doesn't have a Raven, and it's no fun wasting scans. It's basically like losing 250 minerals just to clean up a creep tumor. Oh man, Zerglings are swarming in. Beasty doesn't have enough medevacs to live. Trying to pick up what he can, but oh no, Infestor's gonna come. Infestor's going down as well, and he's gonna lose this medevac. Oh, that is so unfortunate.
Brutality.
Well, Beasty's got a big tank force now. He doesn't... Okay, he does have siege tech. Sorry, I was gonna say... Doesn't want to get caught.
Drop moving the third base with a couple Marauders and a medevac, that's going to get shut down immediately. Tefel's on top of everything this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Tefel's got the map control, man. This is what this comes down to. Tanks need to be able to siege up and zone out these infestors, but there's so many Zerglings, they're going to eat so much of the Fire Doom.
The creep has reached Beastie's natural. What the heck? Ah!
Zerg, man, they basically have map hacks. We've said it before, we'll say it again.
This is nuts. Tefel's playing out of his mind right now, Rifkin. Look at the creep spread.
It is just nasty, Doom. And BC's trying to clean it up, but... I mean, this is... You guys have to keep in mind, every single one of these scans is 250 minerals to clean up something that costs nothing for Tefel to spread.
And what can Beastie actually do to overcome this? The fungals have been awesome. He's getting everything. Huge link flanks in here. The tanks are firing at everything, but they're not getting concentrated attacks on anything whatsoever. And man, the tank line is just shredded.
Yeah,
and that was just a trade from Tefel. He's already almost remaxed.
Both players have lost fairly equal resources at this point. I mean, this is... It's not particularly going well for either of them, but Tefel's got the map control, and I think that's the most important point. Is the music... I thought the music was on. It is on. Turn up a bit, I guess.
Dun, 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 dun.
I like that, dude. The Heart of the Swarm music is the best. Like, they got really good. They really stepped up their game with the Heart of the Swarm background music.
Yeah, and I mean, he lost a bunch of infestors during that engagement. Perhaps something that he didn't necessarily want to do, but Beastie's making 5 Vikings, adding on 2 starports. Or he's got 5 Vikings, adding on 2 starports in addition to what he has. He knows that, okay, Broodlords are pretty much going to be coming from here. And he actually hasn't scouted this out to confirm, but I think it's pretty safe to assume at this
those
point.
tanks get suicided a little bit to confirm that Broodlords are in fact out.
Yikes.
Zerglings popping left and right. Broodlings just kind of destroying the tanks right now. Friendly Fire not being an aid to BC is forced to unsiege and come back home. And these Corruptors... Oh man, dude, this is not looking good.
Now, BC does have his 4th base up though. That's one thing he's got going for him.
But
the lanes are going to run in. Gotta be careful though. Tefel's not picking the best types of engagements here. He's continuing to remax on Lings, and there's a drop in the main base. A lot of damage is being done. Queens are going to fall. Drones are going to fall. BC's doing everything he can to still stay in this.
BC's got 2-2 on his side, but so does Tefel, so I mean, this is...
Well, Tefel's forced to engage now. He doesn't really have a whole lot to actually clean this up back at home, but...
Actually, Tefel... Yeah, he can't even attack that 4th base. It is a planetary. The Broodlings will be cleaned up. Look at BC's control immediately unsieging the second a Broodling lands on the ground. I gotta say, that's really good. Still doing damage to the main
base, too. This is fantastic play from Beastyqt, and he's forced Tefel to take perhaps not the best engagement in the world. And Beastie scans and says, wait, you actually don't have a lot right here. If he steps forward, Rifkin, he could potentially take this out.
But the tanks are actually blocking him from doing it. One Broodlord left, but there are infestors. He's got to be careful for those fungals. Can he get the infestors, Doom? Getting those infestors will be huge. They're going to get away too quickly. But the drop in the main, it did its damage. Let's check workers killed. 24 workers picked off now. So really nicely done. Beastie has maintained a lot of his own throughout the course of this game. They both still have very high worker counts, but Tefel really, if Beastie could pick off some important tech structures, the spawning pool, the infestation pit, he's going to find himself in a really good position. But here we go, that tank marine composition really starting to kick it into high gear as he moves across the field.
Insanely patient this game, Rifkin. He's dealt with the creep. He's now kind of stifled that production. Tefel really doesn't have anything to do in regards to spreading his creep anymore. He should have taken his 5th base a little bit of a longer time ago. I mean, it has been assaulted here at this point. There are Marines waiting. Beastie's focused on taking down this 4th base, though, and it's all going to come down to unit control. That's really where we're at in this series, and Beastie has a greater supply.
And the positioning he's got on these tanks is really nice. He's been leapfrogging forward, like 1 tank at a time all game, but huge flank coming into Beastie's other base, and there's only 1 planetary here. He's not even repairing it immediately, Doom. This base is going to fall.
Down.
It's actually surrounded. He can't even get in to repair it at this point, so he's going to just, you know what, Tefel, I'll take your base. If you take mine, fine. But the problem is...
Tefel's 4th base is going to drop, though, on the other side of the field, so it's important because his 5th is also dropping, and now it's pretty much just
Beastie's got nothing at home.
Trade.
Yeah, he doesn't. He can't even...
Whoa, that's a lot of SCVs.
Yeah,
a lot of SCVs just fall. Oh my gosh.
37 workers killed, almost all in that 1 fungal, but BC is just going to keep pushing forward. Now, the thing is, you could try base trading with a Terran, but they're just going to lift up, Doom.
Right, and there's no Broodlord, so this really isn't the
corruptors.
optimal army for Tefel.
I know, there's some corruptors here that can chase buildings, but Beasty could run. If Beasty absolutely needs to, he can run. This third base is actually still up and running, and oh man, Tefel...
I think Beasty's got this, Rifkin.
I'm going to have to agree with you, Doom. He's looking really good right now. Some fungals going down on these Vikings. The supply block there now, so Tefel can't even reinforce at home. And Beasty picking off Infestors in the middle of the map! Look at them run past the siege tanks! All of the Infestors go down! How many left on the field? 2 remaining! Oh, dude, Beasty's fine at home too. Look at this. He held it off. Tanks, Marines, Medivacs. Beasty's got this game.
Yeah.
I thought he was, quite frankly, I thought he was down for a long time in this Tefel with a stark advantage with that creep spread. But you know what? Beasty playing
the drops and the inability of Tefel to take that 5th base in time really is going to do it. So, GG. We're going to a game 3.